welcome back to my channel, and welcome to those of you who are new here. I upload lifestyle videos every Tuesday and Friday evenings, for those of you that don't know, and today's video is going to concentrate on Noom. So I've been following Noom now for, this will be my 7th month, and I have found it to be very useful, but I also wanted to kind of share my experiences with you of the good, the bad, the ugly side of Noom. I have looked at some other Noom vlogs or vlogs on Noom from other people, and I kind of didn't feel that it did it justice from what I'd seen. So I have got some notes here, just because I don't want to miss out on anything. But there were quite a few of them that seemed to be fairly negative on it, but they either came from people that hadn't tried it long enough. One of them, believe it or not, was for someone that had tried it for one day. It's not enough. And then there was another one that had tried it just for the 2-week trial, and then there was another one from a doctor saying how he didn't agree with it, but then went on to talk about keto. So I kind of feel like they kind of had an agenda, whereas I'm just going to give you my honest thoughts and opinions on it. So when you first start off, if you go onto the Noom website, you'll be asked to fill in a questionnaire that you talk about your behaviours, your wants, your needs, aspirations, etc. And then they'll send you a cost for the plan, and how long it will take you to get to the weight that you want to get to. Now, when I signed up in July, it said it would take me until, I think, February, March time this year to reach that weight. I'm nowhere near it, but half of that is my fault. But what I would say is, if you are interested and you want to go ahead and do it, just wait 2 or 3 days before you do it, because then they'll send you an offer through with 80% off the course magically. That's what I did, and you do have to pay for that up front. You need to give your payment details up front in order to get the 2 weeks free, and then once those 2 weeks have passed, if you've not said to your personal coach that you don't want to do it, they will then take the money out of your account to do that. So that's the way that it works. And you can also then, at the time of when you sign up for it, they will offer you the choice of having a recipe or a meal plan, or an exercise plan. And I thought, you know what, I'll give them a go. And so I ordered both. They were £15 each. They're supposed to be, again, tailored to what you like to eat and what you don't like to eat, and the kind of exercise that you want to do. I would say it's more of a kind of a tick box exercise for them, and they don't quite get it right. I've not used the meal plan or the recipes at all because I just didn't like them. I can't see myself using any of them, but the exercise plan I found was quite good, even though it did ask whether you had any injuries or etc. And I've got arthritis in my shoulder, so I find it difficult doing things like push-ups. But when the exercise plan came through, there were lots of push-up type exercises, which I have battled through, to be fair. It's kind of hit and miss, I think, with those. You could probably find an exercise plan online that you like, so I wouldn't necessarily sign up for those. Now, one of the things that it does ask you to do is to weigh yourself every day. Now, some people are really, really against weighing themselves every day, and I was in that camp before. And I was like, I don't need to weigh myself every day. I'm very nervous about doing that. What if it puts me off? But in fact, I actually found it did the opposite and motivated me to do more. So I didn't actually feel that bad. And it also then helped me to work out, you know, if I thought I'd had a bad day of eating or whatever the day before, and get on the scales the next morning, often I would be quite pleasantly surprised, and that, you know, I either lost weight or stayed the same. Occasionally it would have gone up again, and with women and time of the month, etc., I naturally find that I put on anything up to 4 pounds during that time of the month anyway. So you do get those fluctuations, but if you come to accept that that's what's going to happen, and it's fine. It usually then takes me about a week or so to come back down to where I was beforehand, but I'm quite happy with that. And obviously I'm going to put a screen recording here of the weight and how you track it. And what it will do is, I think it sets you a 10% body weight goal. I've still not quite hit that yet, but that's because for the last, I don't know, 6 weeks or so, I've just not really followed it. I've not been in the right headspace mentally to be able to do that. And yes, I probably have wasted a bit of money for not doing that over those few weeks, but I've kind of maintained and got up a little bit over Christmas, but that's what I would have expected anyway. But so far I've lost 12 pounds in total, which is the most that I've lost on a healthy eating stroke diet plan for 6 years. So I'm actually quite happy with it, and yes, I would have liked to have lost more, but that's my own fault for doing that. But then in terms of what happens once you sign up, you're assigned a personal coach. Again, I'll put a screenshot up here of the kind of conversations that I have with her. Now, I must admit that I haven't found the personal coach side of things that motivating or that helpful, because it's usually just a load of questions that she asks me, like, well, what are you going to concentrate on this week? Or she'll reflect back on something that I've said. So this last week it was about how what have I learned in the last year that I'll take over, what kind of new things will I do? And I said that my husband had bought me a new healthy eating recipe book, which I'm then going to try. And she goes, oh, what are you going to try? How many meals are you going to commit to? So there's questions there, and I guess it can kind of motivate you and get you thinking, but I've not really found that completely helpful. But what I have found helpful is that once you've got past your initial 2-week stage, you'll then be put into a group. Now, I didn't get put into a group until week 4, and that's because your personal coach is supposed to assign you a group coach and put you into a group. And she didn't do that until I reminded her that that's what she needed to do. But once I actually got in there, I found that I get a lot more value from the group, because you're in the beginning stages anyway. For the first 2 or 3 months, you're kind of with people that are at a similar stage to you in the course of doing Noom, and you get a lot more interaction. You get, people say, oh, I'm struggling, or have anybody got any ideas on X, Y, Z, etc. So I found that's really, really helpful. And you can, like you say, you can ask questions, you'll get support. And the group coach only works Monday to Friday. But again, it's all really, really responsive. So I asked a question in there last night about the different food lists. So you've got green foods, yellow foods, red foods, and I just said, is there a link somewhere that I can follow? And literally within 2 minutes she'd written back and said, here you are, here's the links. And that's been brilliant. And what you do also get is you get a list of articles to read each day, and I think those articles have really helped me to develop a healthier mindset towards food. So I don't think of any foods as bad foods now, which would be the red foods. They're just ones that I need to be mindful of and not eat so many of. And you do get an allowance of having red foods in the day. Some of the criticisms around the diet is some people say that it's very calorie focused, but it's not just calorie focused. You are looking at those different food groups to make sure that you are getting a balanced amount of what you need to eat each day. So yeah, I wouldn't necessarily agree that people say it's just based on calorie counting, because it really isn't. And the articles that you read kind of help you to understand why you make the decisions that you make with food, and give you some ideas on how you can combat that, and giving some coping strategies, etc., on how you would do that. And I think that's where you might have seen some of the adverts come in saying, oh, it's a psychology approach to it, and it very much is, because it really does get you to understand why you're making those decisions. You also can save the articles, so I've done that. You can get the opportunity basically to save any article that you want, and then you can go back into that at a later stage and refer back to it. So if you thought, oh, this is a really key article for me, I want to have a look at it. Now they have done a couple around COVID and staying at home, and how that might affect the way that you do things, but it's kind of like a mindfulness and a health and well-being approach to it as well. So I don't necessarily now feel bad if I eat crap for a day. There's very much a mindset of, it's not an all or nothing thinking. So if I was to have, say, a piece of chocolate in the afternoon, I'm then not necessarily going to think, oh, that's it, I've had chocolate, screw it for the day, I'll just eat bad for the rest of the day or the rest of the week or whatever. It kind of discourages you from that all or nothing thinking, and you can choose any time of the day or any day of the week to just reset, start again. You don't get any bashing or made to feel bad from anyone in your group or from your personal coach at all. I know when I've gone to places like Weight Watchers and Slimming World, etc., and you can kind of hear in the tone of their voice if you've put on that week and you just feel awful. I don't get any of that, and that's I guess the beauty of doing it, and you're only going against yourself, if you like, so you're only comparing yourself to yourself. So I don't feel bad about that at all. The food logging is really good. Like I said, you get a list of red, yellow and green foods of what you can eat more of, what you should moderate, which is the yellow foods, and what you should eat less of, which is the red foods. It gives you the option there to scan a barcode in if you've literally bought something from the shop, or you can put in what you've eaten. You can build up recipes. There's lots of different weight options in there, so or measuring options if you wanted to do it. So you can do it in ways, stuff in grams, or it'll do cups or half cups, like the American kind of sizing or weighing out of options, tablespoons, teaspoons. There's loads of different options in there. What I would say is that I find that it is more geared towards the food that you'd find in the US and not so much over here, but I'm guessing every time that you scan a barcode, if it's then not recognised, you can put the ingredients in, and that helps to build up their database of what that is. I have occasionally found that the barcodes bring up something completely different to what I'm eating, in which case I'll just cancel it and go back in and just type in manually what I've got. So that's quite good. And you're given a step goal also every day, and it's usually, if you set your goal, it'll be, or if you achieve your goal, they'll add another 300 steps onto it the next day, or if you don't achieve it, they'll just again take it back down a little bit. And then so obviously each time you achieve your step goal, it adds 300. And then also there's a part on it where you can, it will track your exercise. So if you've got a smartwatch like I have, and it's obviously my smartwatch is linked with my phone, and it will automatically calculate the calories that you have burnt from your smartwatch, and then take half of those calories and add it onto your food allowance, if you like, for the day, which is quite good. Obviously it won't give you the whole lot back because obviously you're trying to lose weight, but overall I have found it really, really helpful, and it's something that I'm going to continue to do. And what I think in terms of what they could do to improve it is probably not make it so US centric. So it's very much based on New York and what New York people do. And I know my personal coach also lives in New York, so it does it's very Americanized, which is great if you're American. If you're not, it's not always going to translate so well to over here in the UK. But overall I am really impressed with it. I'm going to carry on doing it. I've got a lot of weight that I want to lose, but if I don't get there, I'm not going to beat myself up about it. This is something that I'm doing for me. It's not something that I'm doing for anybody else, or I've been told that I need to do it. I just want to be healthier. I want to be fitter. And so that's my reasons for doing it. It's not obviously for everyone. I am not a health and fitness fanatic or a professional in any way, shape or form. I think every healthy eating plan that somebody does is very specific to them, and you know, I feel like I've tried so many different diets and healthy eating styles that they haven't really worked for me, and that I put the weight back on really quickly after I've stopped doing it. But I have found that it's quite easy to maintain with working with Noom. So I think even after I've finished the course, as it were, of Noom, I will still carry on working with those guidelines. So this is just a new way of life, a new healthy eating style for myself. So with that said, yeah, you can choose whether or not you like this, but I hope this review has given you some things to think about, has given you a bit more information on it before you decide to try it or dive in and go for it. But I have enjoyed it. I would recommend it. So obviously check with your doctor first before starting on any kind of health and fitness program. I will update on this channel from time to time on how I'm getting on with it. I've also ordered a Peloton, which I'm so excited about. It was actually on my vision board. So in my last vlog I talked about how to motivate yourself for 2021, and one of the things on there was a Peloton bike, which I've now been able to get because they've dropped the price to £1,750, and you can pay for it interest free over 39 months, which has made it a lot more affordable for me to do. Otherwise I may not have got it. But that is not due to arrive until towards the end of January. So once that has arrived, I will give you an overview of it. I'm very excited about it, and my friends are quite jealous too, but I'm really looking forward to trying that. So anyway, I hope you have found this video helpful. If you have, please do hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. It really does help to support me, and it also makes sure that I know what kind of content you like. So if you've got any comments at all about Noom or about any other kind of diet that you've tried, or if you've got any questions, you know, pop it in the comments below. I'm usually around to reply fairly quickly to any comments that you might leave, and you never know, what you leave in a comment might actually help somebody else too. So that's it for me, and that's it for now. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.